That's the exit we're looking for right here, guys. Route 5, Verina and Charles City County. We're going to take a little ride on Route 5 in Virginia. We're going to head east, which runs along to the Virginia Capitol Trail, a land grab for a few people to enjoy riding bicycles. I know, that'll set people off, but what if it was your land that was taken? Would you feel differently? But anyhow, Route 5 winds along its way and will take you to Colonial Williamsburg. All right, that's 5 west. We're not going to go that way today. We're going to take the 5 east. Surprised I don't see a lot more riders. I haven't seen anyone. I haven't seen a single rider. Maybe I will once we get on Route 5. How fast do you guys take off ramps like this? See, I'm at 35 to 40, and I feel like I'm going too slow. But that's about as confident as I feel going. And they have this park here on the left. A lot of times I ride this route in reverse, and I'll finish at this park on the left, kind of regroup before I head home. It's for, I guess, people riding the bike path, really, and they got restrooms and some stops there, or picnic tables and things like that. A gas station on the right there. We're going to keep going this way. There's one guy, there's another. This is a popular route out here. This is Route 5, and there's another. Route 10 is around here, and it took until I started riding motorcycles to hear anybody call this the nickel and dime. I have been on this road since childhood with my parents going to and from Williamsburg, and never heard this called the nickel and dime until I started riding a motorcycle. And people would say that was a popular ride to do, the nickel and dime. And I have to admit, I usually miss the dime part of it. I do this part. I think I've done the Route 10 ride a few times, but it's usually on accident. And just like any country road, the speed limit might be like 55, but you'll have people meandering their way at 45. There's a couple of speed traps where the speed limit drops down and it still feels like it should be 55, but it'll drop to 45, and I think in a couple of spots 35, and you should obey the law, right? All right, we got a 55 mile an hour sign here. When I see bicyclists, especially adults, riding a little multi-use trail like this one with bicycle helmets on, like, what do you guys think of that? Like, the nanny state has really driven home, you can't be on a bicycle without your helmet, you idiot! And like news stories for both motorcyclists and bicyclists, if there was a death, hit by a Mack truck, end the story. The cyclist was wearing a helmet. The cyclist was not wearing a helmet. Now, motorcyclist speeds, that's one thing. But on a bicycle? Man, I remember growing up, I know many of you have the same memories. Growing up, riding a bicycle everywhere, and no helmet. That was back when we had chains where you went backwards to stop your bike, and if the chain fell off, you were kind of screwed. We didn't have any handbrakes, just that chain and stopping the chain. And always thought about flying my drone there, just like stopping and trying to fly. I mean, we'd get busted up knees and hands, and that happened to me a couple of times. Going feet over head, head over feet, head over tails, however you want to describe it, rolling. I remember one time we were setting up little ramps to jump a curb, and one was to jump a fire hydrant. That one didn't go as well. And sorry guys, this guy doesn't want me tailgating him, and I don't want to sit behind him too long. And anyhow, it's like we never had any brain injuries in the group. Maybe you think I've had one and don't know it, but you know, we would get busted up kneecaps, scars, cuts. I remember one in particular. Man, I fell down on one of these poorly asphalt roads, and my chain had come off, and I wrecked, and man, my knee had a big old gash in it. And nowadays you'd probably have social service called on you. Now I remember our little kid, when we were living in some HOA neighborhood, we had this nut neighbor. That might have been before the phrase Karen showed up. But that's what she was. She was a mentally unstable Karen who thought her business was everybody. Her business was your business. And the other neighbors seemed to have tried to placate her and, you know, show their kids how you can get along with the other adult. I wasn't having it. She come stomping over to our house one day wanting to bitch about something. And I went back with both barrels. And I'm like, you might be doing this stuff with the other neighbors. You're not doing it with me. But anyhow, the reason I remember this beast of a person was when our oldest son was, man, I guess he was probably 7 to 8, 9 years old, kind of in that range. He was riding his little bicycle on the public community sidewalk, and he fell over, you know, right after taking off the train wheels or whatever, I don't know. But he fell over, and he's crying, he's boo-hooing, and I'm out there with him. And this lady sticks her head out the door and yells, "Get his handlebar off my grass!" I would jokingly say that's reason, you know, number 322 why we got out of HOA world and moved to the country with some land to get a little elbow room. People like that. It's like, good Lord. How did I veer into talking about this? I have to go back and listen. How did I veer into talking about all this? But anyhow, the bicyclist helmets. That's right. You know, now the nanny state has it so ingrained, even to adults, that if you're going 6 miles an hour on a bike path that's flat, you better have a helmet on, buddy. Look at that. 2 of them right there. In fact, not only do they have helmets, they have the Tour de France tight outfits, because they're legit. Now, when I was mountain biking a lot, we wore helmets, but we were also like, we had speedometers on those bikes, and we'd be on these single track trails, and you'd be getting up to, sometimes, I'm sure, you know, people go a lot faster than we were. I'm just making a point. We were going 24 to 28 miles an hour sometimes down hills. And one ride we did, you would ride in the single track and get onto I think it was the Blue Ridge Parkway it connected to. Then you'd ride it back down and get back onto the parkway. It might have been Skyline Drive. Maybe, I think it was the Blue Ridge Parkway. But, you know, that's where, man, we would get up 30 miles an hour, especially, sorry, I'm just checking things out here, guys. But we wore helmets for that. But like this thing? Now I'm gonna counter my own story with a different story. We went mountain biking one time on the Virginia Creeper Trail. And I'm gonna make a long story very short. A buddy of mine went on that with me, and we did a midnight ride where it's a completely flat ride. And you ride, and the shuttle takes you to the start of the ride, and you ride back to your car, basically. And it started at like 10 o'clock at night. And it's completely flat for 99% of it. It starts on a slight hill when you take that shuttle, and then flat. Well, I had never been on that ride during the day. It was my first time doing it. Bad mistake. And we got lost. We went off the trail by mistake, and we started going up a hill. And I was telling my buddy, I'm like, hey, this ain't right. You know, the topography's flat. We got to make our way back. It's like midnight at this point, or thereabouts. Well, we start doubling back, and he flew past me going down a hill, head in the breeze, having a blast. And he went through one of these yellow, what do you call those things? What's the word I'm looking for? It's right on the tip of my tongue. Berkeley Plantation. They claim the first Thanksgiving was out there. It's always associated with, what, Plymouth Rock or something? I don't know. They claim it. Historic Shirley Plantation right there. That's a childhood home of Robert E. Lee. One of my favorites down here. But I'm bouncing around on my stories, but on that biking trip, chevron, is that what they call those things? A chevron? The yellow and black sign saying there's a curve. Well, he went straight through it and cut his ear off. Now, I don't remember if we were wearing biking helmets. I'm pretty sure the shuttle may have required them to show that you have them or something. But yeah, he, I don't know now that was a bad wreck. See, this is what I'm talking about. 55 mile an hour. They see somebody coming. They pull out anyway. He's in no hurry. I think he's going to let me pass here. A little comment on my pipes here. You know, I made the video about how these pipes didn't sound good. And I don't know if that other showy helmet was much quieter and was, one of you made a comment about how quiet that helmet was, that you couldn't even hear the bike. Now that was with the previous pipes when I made that video, but I'm wearing the modular helmet, and including without the helmet on at all, to me the bike sounds like it got louder, which I know sounds crazy. I don't know if these things break in, but I'm feeling pretty good now. I've been on it so much, I haven't been on the Springfield. Maybe once I go back on the Springfield, I'll be like, the Springfield sounds a lot better. But I'm feeling like this bike is louder, but part of it could be the helmet. It's letting more noise in on this helmet. All right, you can see here we're dropping down to 45. And I would encourage you, you know, this thing, I don't know if this is all the same county. I should know all this stuff, but in one area there is like police officers when you come around. I swear sometime I'm going to have to plan to stop and see if I can fly my drone around here. I don't know if some of these historic homes are like national parks. I don't think they are. I mean, you can fly, you could still fly over them. You couldn't launch from their property, but you can fly over them. But of course, if there's people there, we're not supposed to fly over people.